Start the timer. Okay, this is Halo 3 on easy difficulty, and this is the fastest difficulty. And I'm going to be doing the run, but I won't be talking too much because I'm going to be trying to focus on the run, because I'm not very good at concentrating, like DeadRain mentioned earlier, on both all commentary and gameplay. So I'm going to hand it over to the other runners here who are very good Halo 3 runners, and they'll break down the gameplay for you.
Thank you. So, yeah, so this is Halo 3. Basically the start of every level, except for Covenant, you're mostly just going to be seeing, like, movement stuff. So that involves a lot of slide jumps, which is like if you jump on a slope and then it sort of propels you forward.
Like there, for example, that was a really good slide.
Like just that.
Yeah, so it's all about cutting those corners, trying to go the most direct path that you can go. The first couple minutes of Sierra is pretty much just doing that exactly. You're not really interacting with any enemies because there's no reason to. You're just
the
trying
teammates which you're killing to get out of the way.
At the beginning, of course, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of killing stuff to get them out of the way, basically. Not necessarily because you have to, just because they can be annoying.
There's a difficult jump coming up. Hopefully I'll get it. It only says 3 seconds, but it's really difficult.
Yeah, so it's referred to as moose jump, and basically nobody else does it in runs at all except for Danza, because it's really tricky, and it's quite impressive. Yeah, fair enough. It is really hard, so
movement chokes.
Shout out to Danza being the only one who actually goes for this. That just proves to show how hard this trick actually is, the moose jump.
And then coming up in a bit, probably in a few, like 10 seconds or something, Danza, he'll be doing like jumps over rocks, which might just seem like him just jumping on rocks, but it's actually, if you touch the floor, it triggers a Cortana moment, which there's a lot of these throughout the Halo 3 campaign, and they basically slow you down for like 5 seconds or something, quite a bit, maybe like 7 or 10. It depends, depending on which one it is.
There are many Cortana moments throughout the run, and they slow you down a lot while you're in them. So for the most part, we try and skip as many as we can. Basically, what's happening there is because he was walking over the tops of rocks that are above the floor, the hit trigger for the Cortana moments are on the floor itself. So we jumped over the top of them, completely skipping it, and it saves a lot of seconds. There's many of them over the course of the run, so yeah, it's just nice skips.
And this is Maz Chief Collection. So this is a 60 frames per second version of the game, although you won't be seeing that, I don't think, if you're watching it. There's quite a few differences between this and the original copy of the game. We'll probably point them out as they come, but overall it's not that different.
Yeah, most of the differences
it's just so much fun.
Are on Legendary and DC clipping.
Yeah.
But there is a reason that we use it on easy though. It's because the enemies spawn in faster, and just certain cutscenes are faster in general. We will talk about that gap skip that we just did there. So Rain, if you'd like to.
Okay, so what happened there is he just presumably he just jumped over, used a grenade to, and also did a slide jump at the same time. It's quite interesting that you can use both of those. You can actually, if you can do a grenade jump. No, you can do it without the grenade and just use the slide, but that's actually slower. So, which is why Danza doesn't do it.
One of the hardest tricks for new people into the speedrun is to actually do that. It's a lot harder than it looks, and you're skipping so much walking time by doing it. It's such an essential speedrun trick. So basically, what happened just there is Johnson went over, and we're trying to get to the button as fast as we can for him.
Yeah, it's also worth pointing out if you go too quickly earlier on, well, not necessarily too quickly, but if Johnson goes too slowly, he can not spawn in the next area, and then you can't complete the game. So that's a problem, but it didn't happen, so it's all good, and it's kind of rare.
Unless you're me.
you guys might have seen it a minute ago, but after the gap jump that we were just talking about, you actually sometimes you see him despawn right in front of you, but he will just literally disappear and teleport. And you're going so fast that the game never intended you to actually see that, but you can actually see him just completely vanish off the screen. What we're doing now is we're trying to clear out the enemies as fast as we can. The faster that we clear these out, the sooner that Hocus the Pelican is going to come in, which will trigger the level end.
I can't do it.
Yeah, and you can see if you. Oh, that's a shame. If you watched Qyphon's run of Legendary or the Combat Evolved ones, where like they take like I don't know, barely any plasma pistol damage and then they lose all their shields, and then you watch this one because this is on easy, so it's you're really invincible. Well, not invincible, but really.
No, you'd be surprised how easy you can still die on easy, which you will see.
Yeah.
You will probably see this
you can
run.
still die on easy if there's enough enemies. Like in that section, you can actually die, but it's yeah, it's not like Legendary. It's not as easy as Legendary.
But this is probably the most fun category for a lot of runners out there, and it showcases the most tricks. So that's the great thing about it, is you're going to see so many different tricks over the course of the speedrun.
A lot of Legendary runners, myself included. And I think, Danza, you were originally a Legendary runner, were you?
Yeah, I was.
You've basically just gone from Legendary to easy, so
Yeah.
and you don't see really many people go the other way. It's kind of like turning to the dark side. There's not many Legendary runners around anymore. They're still active.
Yeah, we've got a few. History 100, Dark
History
Devastation.
100 is really cool.
Nintendo still does.
I don't know.
He does.
Voices allowed.
It's also Alien Flow, who's quite busy. But he does.
I can try and turn the voices down. Hold on.
My fire teams are spread thin.
Okay, I've turned them down. They may be
I
better.
need that hangar clear for evac ASAP.
So-
able to speak. Yeah.
Coming up is a fusion coil launch, which is really cool. What you do is he's using the grenade and the fusion coil to create an explosion, which sends him like hopefully flying forward in the right direction. But it can be fatal. Sure enough. Also got Mib in here.
Hello.
He snuck in.
I arrived slightly late. Sorry about that. Haven't introduced myself yet. As TehDanza said, I am the Mibulus. Hello all.
He's got world record. Oh, for the last level, Danza has the world record, by the way. Danza is the fastest man for that level. And for this level, we got HLG Nagato on the job. Was the previous. He was sort of, nobody thought, well, I personally didn't think anybody would take it off him, because Nagato is really good. And he still is good, but then Danza came along and Danza's just like destroyed Halo. He's got so good at it. And he's got like 5 world records or something out of the 9 levels, so that's pretty impressive.
What's happening here is we're having loads of predefined waves coming in, and it's all about knowing the enemies as they drop and killing them in set ways as they're dropping, so you can clear them as fast as you can. What you don't want to do is leave any alive, which causes you to stay in the hangar longer than needed. And
the waves come in. There's 2 waves, and they both come in at a set time. So you can just kill the first enemies for a bit, just however you want. But obviously, it's better to.
It's all fixed until the last set of enemies, as you saw there. The faster you kill them, the faster this door will open. So you need to balance moving to this door earlier and also killing them at the same time.
And can you tell me when you throw the grenade
Okay.
to kill the drones?
Yeah.
Just want to see how much delay I've got.
Barracks are under attack. All available combat.
if anybody has any questions as we're doing the speedrun, shoot us and we'll try and read them off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so the drone section, which is coming up, I guess.
Throwing a grenade.
Okay, that was 210. All right, so this there's 5 drones at the start, which Danza hopefully just killed all 5. If he missed one, what I found out recently is that 4 more spawn. 4 more spawn in, which makes the killing the ones that come out of the tunnel a lot harder. And then there's 20 that come out of the tunnel, and then you can just get on the turret and just destroy them like Danza just did.
You guys just saw a lot of sword flying in Halo 2. In a minute we're going to be picking up the first hammer instance in Halo 3, and we're going to be showing what this speedrun is all about, and the tool that we use majoritarily to do all the tricks in this game.
Yep. Alright, so I've got 51 seconds of delay between when I'm watching and when it's happening, so yeah, I've got to work with that, but that's fine. I've got sort of the times here. So
we're doing the great launch.
Okay, yeah, so the great launch, basically in Halo 3 there's a lot of really cool hammer launches, which you can actually do them on Halo 4 and Halo Reach, but they're not in the speedruns so much. Basically what it is you're creating like it's similar to like an explosion behind the thing that you're launching off, like the grate, and that propels it towards you at really high speed. Danza might be able to explain it better.
And it just flicks you away.
Yeah, the hammer provides the force behind like the object you're launching off, and then it propels you into the
Savu.
I am Savu, but apparently the hitbox isn't working for Dead Rain. You should try it again, Rain.
I've tried it like 20 times.
Okay, I've done it.
Yeah, okay, I can work with 50 seconds. It's not exactly 55 seconds. I've got the times we're in down when he should be hitting them, so I'll just do some mental traction.
So the jetpack fight here, we're killing these two brutes. We need to kill two before the wave up the top will spawn, and these ones we're just making sure that we've killed these two, and then they'll spawn in, and we're just going to nade the down here, which means they're going to all die, hopefully extremely fast, and then drop down and just catch the next parts of the wave. This can look, there's a lot of time optimization here. It's actually quite hard to notice it, but it's a hell of a lot of it.
Yeah, so you kill two, there's 4 brutes at the start, then you kill 2, then 4 more spawn at the top. On Legendary it's 6, and then you kill 4 of them, and then 4 more spawn from a little crevice, which Danza just showed. And then you kill them, and then you kill the others, and then the load happens.
On MCC, the one brute, he always stays over there on the stairs for some reason.
Yeah.
Until you do damage to him. On OG, he will be running around.
You have to take off his whole shields before he notices that something's happening.
We were talking about those katana moments, and this one here is one that you can't skip, unfortunately. You know, there is quite a few instances of the ones that you cannot skip in the game. We're still trying to find ways to, but...
Yeah, there's some which you can skip, like the one just before the Great Launch, Danza didn't skip, but you can skip it, but it's actually faster, because if you do skip it, then you can't do the Great Launch, and the Great Launch is faster.
That did it, Chief. Bombs armed. We got your exit. The service elevator in the hangar.
So recently in Halo 2, there's been a butterfly trick discovered, and we're going to see the only instance of it in Halo 3 in a second. A set of drones are going to be flying across this hallway, and we're going to be doing a reload on the battle rifle and continually spamming it and flying with the drones to go along this hallway faster.
Yeah, so you punch to lunge at the drone, and then you press reload to cancel it, so it doesn't actually punch the drone. So you keep on flying. It's pretty cool. I didn't know it was found in Halo 2. Oh yes, that big trick, isn't it?
The prison skip. They're using butterfly.
Where have you been?
You can butterfly in most Halo games, I believe. I could be wrong.
Yeah, some stuff just like people don't really think about in other Halo games, even though it's done a lot. Like that's what
grenade jumps, right?
Yeah, grenade jumps. They're done loads on ODST. It's partly because you have 4 grenades, I think, on ODST.
No,
but
3.
Blaze recently started implementing them like mad into Halo 3. So
just showing
now we've got
so many different places that we can route them in.
Yeah, like loads of half-second time saves.
Also, when he picked up that plasma pistol, it's so that he has 2 weapons that are in the next level, so he'll carry his weapons over. And the reason he does that is to carry some nades over as well, because he does a slightly different route to the IL for Savo.
You can save time on the level coming up by getting out of the hog momentarily, and we'll point it when it comes, and throwing a grenade at a shield barrier to completely blow it up and then get back in. Usually you have to walk, and there's walking time involved, and we're skipping that completely. We'll point it out in a moment.
That's a good point. Somebody pointed out in chat. It said sick AVH cutscene strats. Well, in Cortana, the moments we can't skip, we'll use the hammer to do backwards jumps. So it pushes you through the moments a bit faster. You can save up to 5 seconds just by moving at a fast pace through them cutscenes, which is a lot for easy.
And yeah, I will also point out the fact that yeah, because you go really slow in the Cortana moments, so you lose your momentum. But if you hammer launch, then you keep your momentum.
What happened?
You keep some of it.
Shout out to Stat God Gamer.
Chief, please
Yep.
respond.
You can walk.
Status.
Just on the line.
If you can hear me, find transport. Head
Chief's
to
got
the
the right
telephone.
idea.
So,
Let's mount
in the
up.
last
Get the hell out of
week and a
this
half,
cave.
this level's been optimized for the IL by over 3 seconds. It's the second shortest level in the game.
All thanks to
Yeah.
Blazy.
I pushed him to do it.
Well, there's a guy who... Oh, Blaze, you should explain.
It's okay.
Yeah,
There's a dude who takes this level very seriously. We all have our favorite levels. His PB was a 314, and I actually found I like to call it an improvised strat, because it's something that I watched Danza do in his full game runs, and I thought, hold on a second, if that's not done in the IL, then there's a lot of time to be saved. And we do a hard right on the rock at the end of the level, and you get straight to the bridge, which saves a good 3 seconds. And I popped the board record by 1 second, and the guy came back and then beat me by 2, which is, you know,
Literally the very next day.
Yeah.
Absolute savage.
I'll just advertise myself here. I did kind of the same for Ark and Covenant. I got down the times quite a bit, but then for Ark, it kind of motivated the people who originally had the world records to get it down. So like, I beat Danza's Ark by 2 seconds, I think, and then he beat it by like 21 seconds. Beat that by 21 seconds.
Easily.
And the same with Covenant.
Yeah.
It was like 10:21, and now it's 9:47. So both of those were the last 2 levels to get sub 10. So now all the Halo 3 easy levels are sub 10. So
Okay, there's a trick coming up, which is pretty cool. It's usually
go for
here, the grab lift. Usually here, you're forced to go on foot because there's a big barricade here, which stops your vehicle getting through. But there's a grab lift early on in the level, and you can just use that to go over this gap. And it's a pretty cool use of equipment in the level.
You can also drive straight through the gap, but it's very hard to do, and so Danza hasn't opted to do it here in the run.
Of course, the game creators never intended you to actually take the hog this far, so it's nice because you're able to keep going faster than you would usually be able to, right until the end of the level.
I was really lucky with the was really lucky with the chopper there, because if that chopper just hit my hog a tiny bit, I would have died.
yeah, the choppers in this game, they have like effectively it's like a brute shot. So they have this really powerful explosive device, which they fire at you, and that's really sad when it hits you because it can send you flying.
Chief, the gate to Boy is dead ahead. Smash the brute blockade. Open her up.
Okay, the ending for this, there's a lot of enemies here. You actually don't need to. You only need to do 2 things. That's destroy the shield and destroy the turret, and the level's over.
You have to be a little bit forwards because you can't do it from far away.
Yeah, you have to be in the end zone as well. Like Mib said, there's a certain like radius you have to be in for the level to end.
Got to be really accurate with those grenades as well. They're not easy throws.
Yeah, there's we haven't finished the tournament stuffed. Me and Danza might keep it for I don't know, a special time. We were holding it back. Basically, me and Danza are in the final of an easy tournament with was it 16 people?
Yeah.
And
Okay, so shameless shout-out time. This level was called the Storm. I have the legendary and easy world record on this, and it's by far my favourite level. So I'm going to be able to do a good job of explaining the ins and outs of what's happening here. Right now we're on an auto-scroller, and this auto-scroller kind of has a mind of its own. Some runs, the driver's going to be reversing. Sometimes these hogs are going to be crashing into each other. I've actually had runs before where you're literally reversing all the way into the tunnel that you just saw us drive through. You know, it is that random. But the idea here is to hit this first button as fast as we can, and it's going to set the third door. This is the first door on a timer to open. That opens on a specific point. Interestingly, your movement doesn't really matter up until about the 58-second mark. You can just, you know, do whatever. You have about 5 seconds spare.
Yeah. I just use that to pick up a plasma. I should have a plasma pistol at this point anyway. Grenades is one thing I like to have. Just
I hope you don't get flared.
Oh yeah, you can get flared here.
flares are really annoying in this game. Basically, there's power-ups that you can, well, I don't know, equipments that you can have, and one of them is a flare, and basically the enemies throw it at you to blind them, but when you throw it at them, it does nothing, and it's only really used. Yeah, it's hard to like, but you can do equipment jumps off it, which maybe Danza will demonstrate sometime.
Yeah.
What we're doing here is we're killing 2 ghosts in the race, and the load is based on a certain amount of enemies that are killed in the area. You need to have at least 2 grunts, 2 of the ghosts, and the wraith killed, and a couple of the jackals, I believe, help to make the trigger come.
Yeah. I got flared. I think you could probably see on the stream how blinding those flares actually are. When
really annoying.
This Cortana moment here, we're actually stopping moving just before the moment, and this actually opens a door in front of us a little bit faster.
That's something Blaze found.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
And it was, as soon as I found it, I was like, guys, everybody needs to start doing this. It's just free time save.
And people laughed at him for about a couple of minutes, then we realised, oh, it actually does work.
For a good week, I was getting shit from people like Nagato. It's like, no, Blaze, you're just mad. Like, alright.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just take these
Like Viv when he said that you can stop
beep
the beep your horn. But then I really think that is true.
So this is the second lake bed, and we've got 2 phantoms here, and we're trying to kill this second one as it leaves the area, so the next wave comes in faster. We're making sure that the ghosts and the grunts and the brutes on the ground are all destroyed, including this phantom, and it's going to make the next wave come in. Unfortunately, sometimes you can get rogue grunts on this level that are just like hiding in debris or like in the middle structure, and it can prevent loads from coming in. So hopefully we're not going to get any of that.
They can be really annoying. I also just noticed that you might be wondering what the white, blue and red flag is, in the 3 flags in the corner of Danza's screen. Well, I'll tell you. These basically splits. They're called splits. If you know about, this is speedrunning thing, so people know about splits. But they're like in-game splits, which are really cool. They're only on the Master Chief Collection. It's another fun reason to play Master Chief Collection. And as you can see right now, he's green. He might not be anymore, but he is when I'm watching it 51 seconds ago. And
record boys.
Yeah.
You don't like he just stay green because he has a DC clip in his PB though. If you want to explain the plays.
Shout out to parking the ghost there. That's specifically intentional to make it to where you come.
I don't have a
up
grab
the
lift.
Ooh, you can do it.
I don't have enough time.
Good. Sorry.
That's not good as well.
He's racing against his splits right now, so he's green on his personal best time. But yeah, we explained.
Yeah, I actually don't have enough time to do the Scarab one.
Find some cover. Now.
Oh, that's sad.
Time to Griffin.
No. This is definitely not good.
Yeah.
You could
We all
try
know the
doing the
best way
board
to,
off the ramp, dude.
And get a Scarab board. You can't land on a Scarab, just save him quick. Start a new save.
So apparently there was a bit of cheating by Gryffindor.
For those of you wondering, this is not how you're meant to kill the Scarab.
I don't know what this boy's doing right now.
Well, I'm trying to improvise, but I actually like.
Oh, you didn't
Big
get the.
shots.
Oh, you didn't get the thing, did you? That's depressing. Oh, fair enough. Yeah, that can happen in the heat of the moment. It's the grav lift. Sometimes people forget the grav lift.
I'm going to point out that even though we're going to lose a minute and a half here, the overall time is probably going to still beat the third best.
Oh
time
my
in the game.
god, I'm so sorry about this, guys.
It's okay.
Alright, Danza. When I was doing, yeah, it's kind of a nerves thing because when we were doing like a marathon, yeah, just plugging the Halo 3, the Halo community here. We were doing a really cool, fun. What's the thing where you hand the baton on? You know where you hand the baton on to the next man.
The relay race.
Oh, the
Yeah, we
relay.
were doing the relay.
Yeah.
And I forgot the.
There we go, that was much
so-
better second time.
To be fair, Danza, you got a nice checkpoint. So that was good.
God, and now it's in an awkward position.
What is this?
There we go.
What is this Scarab doing?
We did it, boys.
Finally.
We got in there.
Get away! It's gonna blow!
And there was no
Oh,
vehicles
wow.
around.
I just saw that guy just kill you.
Oh god, apologies. I just completely forgot the grav lift.
Well done, Chief.
So I'm going to give a shout out to this level. Like, you guys watching this, this is one of the most RNG heavy levels in the game. So, you know, there is that, and it's a level that's not really liked by many runners. You know, if we're talking about favorite levels, so
At least you got to use the grav lift there, Danza.
Yeah, got the user in the end.
Get it right.
What's meant to happen is I meant to take the grav lift and board it early, and then you wait for the timer to run out, and then you can destroy the back of the Scarab and just leave the area immediately. But I didn't pick up a grav lift during the time when I was meant to be killing the Phantoms, because the Phantoms came in quite quick, which was good because the waves were fast and I was ahead of my splits. But the bad thing is I forgot the timing for the grav lift, so I wasn't able to pick that up in time. There's a cool shot coming up here.
So what's going to be happening here is we're going to be trying to pick up a second plasma pistol from these grunts that are on the ground. And we're going to be carrying these two plasmas, dual wielding them, all the way to near the end of the level. And we're going to be doing a precise, kind of like sniper-esque zoomed. It's not a zoomed shot, but it's going to be traveling a long distance to this gun. Usually you'd have to walk all the way up there, you know, and kill the core and encounter all the enemies that are up there. But we're just going to be taking this really precise shot. It's just awesome.
This next level, Floodgate, is, in my opinion, maybe the best speed run of all of the Halos. Definitely in Halo 3, I think. And this has, well, the individual level, and less in full game, but the individual level has so many really cool tricks, just little things you can do. And DC launches, and which we'll get onto later. And it's just really good. So if you want to watch that, open the link and then save it for later. You gotta watch this right now.
So the Floodgate IL is the shortest in Halo 3. Yeah, I think it's currently clocking in for easy at 256. I think I'm correct there. Right.
It's actually faster on Legendary than Easy, because he prefers playing on Legendary.
Absolutely, and to be honest, there isn't much difference between easy and legendary because there is hardly any enemy interaction because of the tricks that we use on this level. What we're trying to do here is set up this box so we can do a launch close to the door in the next section. It's not an easy box to set out, to be honest.
Let us find their ship. Make short work.
There's so many different launches, so many different types of box launches on this level. We've got the small ones, the big ones. Each one will behave in a different way, and everyone needs a different setup. But they're all the same, you know, the same logic that you're forcing the object back into you, which is then pushing Chief out at good speed.
Yeah, but interestingly, the depending on which box you're launching off, like at which place people do it, you do it like slightly different ways each time, which is kind of cool because I don't know. When I first joined, I thought they were pretty much the same, but for some you have to stand, some you have to jump, some you have to crouch, some you have to look up higher or stuff.
And for anybody wondering why did we just jump on a load of boxes there? That's another katana moment skip, right? The moment triggers on the ground and we're jumping on those boxes to skip it. Coming up here is the DC launch, and you guys haven't seen any one of this yet, but it skips a hell of a lot of this
first
section.
try.
First try.
Nice.
Get in.
It's pretty hard trick and quite inconsistent as well, because it requires a very precise action from the player to get it properly, and by the sounds of it, Danza just got it first try, which is really good.
Essentially what's happening with
varying degrees.
Absolutely, and essentially what's happening with the DC is you're throwing it as you start to fall, and then you're edging forward, staying in the DC in the front portion of it for a split second, and then moving forward, and it pushes you out at a great speed, and you can go so far, especially on MCC. They're much more powerful launches than they were in the OG version of Halo 3.
Wow, that was a nice launch.
Yeah, I hope that makes up a bit for Storm. That was pretty good. It's way ahead of my PB.
After that, you're ahead of your personal best,
Yeah.
which was like a really good time as well. Well, yeah, decent time. Alien Flow, his time is like really far ahead of anyone else's. It's just such a great run. Watched that about 1,200 times, his run. It's just so entertaining and so short and snappy. You want your speed runs like short and compact, just watch that run. It's really good.
It's one of the most impressive in the game. But yeah, continuing to talk about DC stuff. Recently we've had a new wave of strat finding because we've figured out the MCC, because it's so much more powerful on MCC to do the DCs. We found DC clipping. Fortunately, there isn't really any consistent ones that have been found for full game consideration. There is one, but not anybody does it. Yeah, and
Nato does it in full games.
Okay, he's done it once or twice, maybe.
He's crazy. That's the point we're making.
He's nuts. But yeah, it allows you to skip areas. For example, on Storm, you can do it on there, and then you go through walls and completely skip zones straight into katana moments, and of course you're invincible in those moments. And yeah, it's just awesome tricks.
That's some view.
What time was that floodgate?
That was a 328 floodgate, and that's a PB for full game runs.
Commander's frigate.
Yeah, that's.
Keep your eyes and ears open. We need all the intel we can get on wherever the hell we are.
Yeah, this is a level I've been playing a lot, and I'll try and explain a lot of stuff throughout it, because it took me a long while to get this level below 10 minutes. I spent a lot of time trying to do it, so I've picked up a lot of things from playing this level. I'll try and explain it as I'm going along. And
Shout out to every Halo 3 IL being under 10 minutes now.
Yeah.
And Halo 5 is the only other one which has all the levels under 10 minutes.
Yeah, but we don't talk about that. It's a bad speed game.
Oh, cool.
Shots fired.
I need a brute shot. I need a brute shot here for a trick coming up, which skips a section. Hopefully, if I get it right. There's a checkpoint anyway in case I mess it up, but we got it. And it skips this. It actually skips walking around the big sections 10 seconds time save, I think, for that little jump, which is pretty good.
Depends. A couple of little ways to do it. This is the biggest ski round.
And that section there, we're skipping so much enemy interaction. Not that you need to interact with them on easy, but it's such a path optimization to just scale that wall. You know, just skip that area.
On the 22nd of January.
Oh yeah, for Halo as well. I'll try and explain the tower without interruption, because I think Stuff wants it. The tower fight thing. Yeah, but sorry, Darren.
2015, the world record was 10:33. But Danza found a lot of cool new, like just helping with the understanding of the game and what caused everything. Because sometimes things would happen and we wouldn't really know what caused them, and that's still the truth with a big thing which is coming up later. But yeah, Danza got it down to a 952 now.
Yeah, pretty much everything in the level is consistent now apart from one trick, which is going to start off by here. I'm going up this rock. It's skipping the spawn of enemies. If I spawned any enemies here, when I come back through this place later, they will disappear. But we don't want that to happen. We want a lot of enemies there, so they'll still be there. They'll spawn when we come back out. And we want a load of enemies alive, so that the game lags. And if it lags a certain amount, a set of enemies might disappear, which makes a certain door very, very fast. But you'll see that later, maybe, if it goes well.
You guys might have
really
just
nice.
seen
It's really rare.
Danza use an extended zoom in a way to fire that long-range rocket, which is killing that brute way before he even gets to that section.
And his grunt.
And the grunt friend on the turret.
This is perfect.
Oh,
Sub
here
250
goal.
clear.
If you look at his splits where it says red, green, white, that means he got the exact same time as that split to a decimal place.
Looking at the sky
He's
coming up.
So it's pretty cool. Oh, so he's looking at the sky now. Basically, this is like in Halo 2 at Cairo Station, like Cryphon was talking about. Looking at a certain place speeds up stuff. So in this case, if you look in the sky where Dawn's the big ship's coming down, it speeds up the rate how fast it comes down. So
You can actually
about, like, 10
lose,
seconds or something?
yeah, you can lose between 5 and 10 seconds for not looking at the sky, which we didn't really know before.
Yeah, Danza, Nagato, the old world record holder, accidentally, I believe, hit it in his 1032, which I mentioned
He'll
earlier.
explain
And-
the game lag, which they might see on the screen. I think those people may notice for game lag.
Okay, so the game's lagging now because he's loading so many enemies so quickly, and as he mentioned earlier, if you load them enough, you can get certain levels of deload. So certain enemies are deloaded in an order. So that's going to be fun.
Yeah.
And you can have pretty much all of them deload, which makes it really quick, which is what happens in the world record. Like how I got the accidental world record for this, because just out of like a really small chance I got the deload to happen, and yeah, it was just had a good end, but a terrible beginning. I reverted.
We're still not entirely sure what causes the deload.
Entirely sure at all.
But we have come ways since a couple of years ago, because people like Danza have been able to find a lot of stuff and a lot of improvisations simply by being able to read the game code. We've been finding so much stuff, and shoutouts to that, because I can't for the life of me read game code, but there are a few people in the community who can now. We've been finding loads of stuff that helps.
Yes.
Triggers wise.
Did you get any deload, Danza?
No.
No, he
that's
didn't.
sad.
Yeah.
Normally you get at least some level of deload, so Danza's got quite unlucky here. So if he doesn't get the 107, we know why.
Yeah, and like somebody mentioned,
Yeah.
on Legendary, I think Iwuki mentioned it, on Legendary, the tank is preferred for this section. It is extremely hard to get through without a tank. It's possible, but very hard. And this is still a good door. If it's below 5 minutes 30, getting through here, it's a good run.
Yeah, we were all called out by Mr. Monopoly 2 days ago. Like he's calling us all bad because we can't do this on Legendary without the tank. But it is extremely difficult.
Yeah,
And,
it's the only time.
Chance to do it.
Yeah, shout outs to Wonderland TV, because he was the guy who actually extracted all the scripts for us. So shout outs to him.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah,
He's a very, very clever guy.
Wolf Ghost Ra just said that. Yeah, exactly as you said it.
I will just quickly mention as well, the chopper in MCC is a lot harder to maneuver. Compared to the OG version of this vehicle, this one just slides all over the place. Less stick movement to the left or right, it makes it turn more than it usually would. So there's just things that we have to improvise and adapt to for MCC.
The OG one wasn't great to control in the first place.
No, but it was a hell of a lot better than it
It's a hell
currently
of a lot better than this, yeah. It's one of the disadvantages of playing the Master Chief Collection.
One of the
Oh.
coolest tricks coming up here with the Scarab. We get into this early.
You picked as a grab lift Danza this time.
I picked it up, but then it juggled it
Oh.
straight away for a power drain.
Oh no!
These graph lists today are not your friend.
No. I can't believe that. That was a bit out of my control. The range for the power drain immediately made me pick up a grav lift instead of entering the vehicle.
Oh man, you should have done the hype back up strat.
Yeah, I'd like to actually see if we can land one Scarab board.
We're gonna have one good scarab, guys. We swear.
Yeah.
So the idea here is because we used the chopper, I don't think it was intended for people to be able to get it through that structure that you saw us maneuvering through. But because we have it, we're able to boost down and get to the Scarab area before it comes down, and then set up a grav lift to be able to board it and kill it really early.
I didn't even get it the second try. I'm gonna have to do the other strat.
Sucks.
We still have one more try for a good scarab.
Damn, the luck on Scarabs today has been insane. Like, I don't know what's up for Scarabs, but
Gotta pick up those grav lifts. I guess it was unlucky that you didn't have that. You didn't relieve yourself of that equipment before you went there. Because stuff like that's just kind of you kind of forget about it in the moment, and it can be just kind of.
There we go. We got a Scarab board via some method.
Shout out to this actually being the strat many years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. This is the way that people did it, believe it or not, to get onto the Scarab. In the early days of Halo 3 speedrunning, this was the actual strat, instead of boosting all the way down and using grav lift, just to get up. Blast from the past.
Yeah.
The reason we wanted to get an early Scarab board is obviously one, we can kill the Scarab quicker, and two, if we can stop the Scarab, we can destroy the Scarab before it goes past a certain load zone, it actually skips it, and we can load in the next area faster.
Yeah, like as soon as the Scarab blows up. But the other way, there's 2 ways to load the Pelican. If you for some reason if you kill a Scarab quick enough, this is something I found on Legendary, and then you go to in a certain direction, and Danza also found a different way on Easy, is it loads the Pelican to come down, but on Easy what they used to do is they used to go straight up the top of the structure because that's where you're supposed to go, but actually if you wait in a specific place, or it doesn't have to be that specific, but in an area, then you load the Scarab straight away.
Also, Danza's about to kill the male marine that jumps out of this Pelican, because if you kill him, he's got some scripted dialogue, but if he's dead, he doesn't say the dialogue, and so you are able to skip about 15 seconds of dialogue, and the door opens 15 seconds faster.
Yeah, it's unbelievable how much time that actually saves, just shooting the marine. If I could aim properly, that would have helped, but yeah, killing that marine is really good. And by here I use some movement tech Dead Rain found, is where I jump on the ceiling and then use the ceiling to kind of hit my head and direct me down a bit faster than just walking off through a certain door I used to go through before.
That's my contribution to the community.
So this is just movement optimization here, and it's going to be movement optimization until 2 fights. One's going to be clearing out camo brutes, and then one is going to clear out the kind of ring of brutes with a lot of enemies. And yeah, that'll be coming up shortly.
Anyone discuss why Arrival's not in Halo 3 speedruns?
Because we don't live by the same silly rules as Halo 2.
Yeah, okay, that's a good answer.
We don't use RTA to time this game, and there's
luck.
Not the reason, but part of the reason is because there is no way that we can possibly lose time on Arrival. Also, you can just skip it completely when you load it up, right? And that would be an official strat. So yeah, pretty much, it would be pointless. Yeah, every Halo is different in their own way, though. But absolutely, Tony, Halo 3 is best Halo, and everybody should go play it.
There's some talking about marathon luck. You saw the brute kind of just start running into the doorway. That is a kind of 1 in 100 chance of that actually happening. I've only had it once before in the full game where he actually runs out the way. So
shout out to taking advantage of these these brutes
Good clear.
doing a bit of monkey business. You know, they're doing their rituals. We're just killing them as they're doing their animations and standing still. Great.
It's tempting to kill the chieftain as he's just running past you from back and smack him. But the reason we don't is because if you kill him, all the other brutes stop standing still.
And
So
the
it's
jack
much
was coming
easier.
out earlier.
Yeah.
It's nice if you can snipe them on their spawn.
Now this is a good level coming up.
Oh, this is Covenant, so this is one. Actually, everyone except Blaze here has had the world record for it. Because Mib had
I'll let you know that I've had the world record on 4 different ILs.
Oh yeah, well, we all
That's
have.
4 different levels. No, you haven't.
I have actually. Well, no, not 4 different levels, but I've had Easy and Legendary, Arc and Covenant. And but basically, Mib had the record quite a bit of times. He's got it now. He had a 10:21, but Danza got a 10:21 after, but it was slightly faster, so it was top of the MCC leaderboards. But nobody knows Danza had the world record for a bit. But it wasn't on Halo Runs, so nobody cared because Halo Runs is really good.
Apart from when your hits through 100.
So what Dan's was doing in that beach clear was there's 2 groups of enemies. There's a group at the front, and once you kill 6 enemies in that group, the group at the back will spawn. And what we really want to do is kill as many in the group at the back as we can, as quickly as we can while they're all grouped together. In particular, the chieftain, because if you can kill the chieftain, they won't all run up to where the wraith is.
Yes.
Ideally, you're looking for. You can get this beach. You can get this beach clear technically 24 seconds.
Technically,
Maybe
like
23.
19. If the Marines are good, but
No, you can't
Yeah.
do that.
yes, you can. Anyway, we'll
Absolutely
have this
can.
debate at a separate occasion. But basically, this clear depends largely on how good your Marines are, because they just sometimes they wipe out the entire like grunt population down there, and sometimes they just have a day off, like have a tea break, and just do nothing, and then you have to take charge, kill them, or else you get really slow.
Yeah, I'd like to. Just a little strat I found like literally a couple of days ago. There, it's kind of nothing, but I went far left on the hog there. And you notice the ghost kind of got stuck in the tree. They usually block your path, and it's just a little strat I found there. Just a bit of enemy manipulation to move.
Yeah, it also gets the first
It's
ghost to
luck,
try
isn't
and
it?
come out a little bit earlier, so you can just go slightly in behind him, because otherwise he'll ram you as well, and that's no fun at all.
That was annoying when I was grinding that level.
Okay, so right now we're taking the hog like way down into this area, and it will be there on the return, so we can just jump straight back into it.
Maybe not this time around.
Maybe not this time around. I did see, yeah, but we're still going to discuss it anyway.
Yeah.
Can it rarely, if it's parked in a really big, like strange place, it can just not be there on the way back. Oh, but no, it'll be fine, but it'll just not be in the right place.
We're still going to get into that one though, because it will be the closest hog.
Damn, I got flare. This is really bad luck. I like the. I prefer invincibility from my chieftain. You can drop invincibility or flare. I really prefer
Third chance or something, flare, or
invincibility.
quarter.
Yeah, flare is less than.
Yeah.
But
This Citadel is maybe my favourite part in Halo.
yeah, we'll get to
just
the.
section.
It's maybe my least favourite part.
Yeah, it all depends on which person you are, and it. Yeah, the invincibility is useful for it, but
Yeah.
unfortunately, Danza is given a flare by the game, so that's.
I don't need invincibility in it. I don't have it in the world record, so I'm good. I'm like dead range. Shots fired.
That's,
We are shots fired, guys. We are.
Yeah. We're going to be taking a lot of shots fired at each other.
So as you guys can see, we're getting back into this hog that we left there. Usually you get it much further down. Somebody might be asking as well why we're using the hog. The hog is the fastest vehicle. Equally to the mongoose on uphills and downhills, it's just extremely quick. There is no nothing that can match the speeds.
Yeah.
The real question is though, TehDanza, are we going to get easy peasy Banshee board?
Nah, I don't think we'll be doing Banshee. But
Basically, you can board a Banshee here and it's faster, but it's really rare and luck-based, and nobody ever does it. Not
Unless
even
you're TehDanza, you get it twice in a row, you claim it's easy, and then stop
it is.
recovery.
Just Mib doesn't use it in his world record. Don't know why.
yeah, these Banshees here to my right, they can just fly below you, and you can just board them. But as you can see, their direction is a bit random. It's a bit easier in co-op because you can actually get someone to stand on top of your Hornet, or like jump in the side seat, and you can kind of
that's
fly in, and then they can jump off and take it.
Another occasion where we had fun in the Halo community was when we did a 4v4 co-op race, which was really great, and it was us 4 minus Mib, add Hobo, a Royal Hobo. You guys might know him. And yeah, I think the enemy team actually managed to board a Banshee by somebody getting out, which is pretty fun.
Yeah, they did. There will be another one of those at some point in the future. I'm pretty certain of that, and yeah, they're great. It's always done on Legendary because it's the most fun when you're doing the co-ops, and it's Team NA versus Team EU, so 3 of us plus Hobo.
We can explain the equivalent jumping. I just did one. Babaka.
Halo 3 is the only game where which English and British people play.
So yeah, Danza just did a flare jump, which is doing an equipment jump to get up to the platform here and get the elevator going. You can do an equipment jump on so many different types of equipment in Halo 3, and it's just very useful to get the additional elevation needed to, scale some heights.
Yeah. Powdering.
You can do them off the power drain, and you can also do them off the deployable cover. They trip mine, yeah.
Radar jammers?
Yep.
Oh, nice.
But I believe it did change from OG to MCC and what you can and can't do them on.
Yeah. Like I think
flares you have to crouch when you're doing it. Oh, you can also do them off, which we recently found. Well, not recently, but we recently implemented into runs. Is you can do them off turrets, which you'll see later. It's a lot harder, but it's possible. Yeah, it's that.
some more luck there, which never happens. But I went to do a hammer jump, and if you're close to an enemy, you lunge, and it lunged into the enemy as I was doing the jump, so the jump just cancelled completely. So that's a nice bit of luck, but it's not a major time loss, so it's fine. And there's another Scarab board coming up actually, there's 3 in this game. This one's a bit...
You have to get this one right, Dan.
Yeah, this is a double Scarab, well, it is still a single Scarab board because we only board 1, but there is 2 Scarabs. We're moving up in the world to 2 Scarabs here, which is pretty cool.
Oh yeah, that's a good point,
It's a very good point, Mollusk.
It's still Europe, but
if
not
England leaves
Europe.
EU, would it actually be EU?
We wouldn't have
this is bad luck. Like, I might actually die.
We could have UK versus EU versus NA versus Japan.
Versus Australia.
Scarab to Scarab. I think that should get a mention for sure.
Absolutely.
Okay, so if you kill the first Scarab too quickly, interestingly, the first Scarabs on each of the Scarab boards, you can't kill them because something strange happens. For this one, if you kill this one too quickly, this Scarab just basically goes.
You'll
really
see it
weird,
disappear
and
when I kill it.
Flies off. Oh yeah.
Just absolutely flings you to the side. So
Yeah.
what some people tried to do was fling off the side and pinball round off another wall.
You
And
know
then
what?
that-
I'm gonna put a link into that. It's gonna take about 20 years to find it. but-
Absolutely, Savuska. Indeed, shout out to Halo 3DS. Something that was never
Maybe coming out this August, who
It-
knows?
something that was never completed.
Which Halo C
By
does like
Hipfire and Co. But it's actually been relighted, and we have a project that we're not giving any promises, but it will slowly be worked on by the current active
Danza.
runners and others.
Yeah,
It's down
it's
to like 5
mainly
levels.
Dan's done because he's gonna be doing, yeah. probably a
Danza,
lot of the
perfect
levels.
scarab.
The flux scales the
Yeah,
signals far
nice
wall.
on Danza.
Yeah, we got one
Activate this
scarab,
bridge
alright.
oracle.
50% of the scarabs
Hey,
killed.
you got
that
this.
way.
Okay, Arbiter. I don't want to talk about him because my language has to be marathon friendly. Someone else, please.
Yeah, but basically we're killing Arbiter here. So the bridge, skipping the dialogue for the, him to be asking 343 Guilty Spark to extend the bridge. Instead, when he dies, he just the bridge is extended automatically, and it's just time saved. It's great.
Citadel launch, here we go.
Where are you, scarab to scarab?
One of the best launches in the game coming up here, tilt launch. Basically, we're just going to be pushing the box forward, and Rain, you can explain this one more.
Alright,
This is a terrible trick. Whoever found it, I don't like you.
I personally really enjoy this trick because it's good and it's nice and long in terms of distance that you travel with the launch, and so you can did Danza hit it well?
He got a half one.
Fairly well.
Alright.
So-
Okay, so yeah.
Didn't get
so
the second
you hit
slide,
the
but-
box and then it's the same as the other box launches, I guess. I don't know what to explain.
Yeah, you tilt it over and then it just gives you a bit of a better launch, that's all.
And
you can-
ideally, you're going to be sliding and going over those huts and going right to the end where the chieftain is. So it's skipping the entire bridge walk, which is what people are aiming for.
Yeah.
It's-
I think you know what's coming.
Oh yeah, the one and
To
only.
the left. Find a way down.
And I hit it too.
So proud of you, Danza.
We gotta chuck in the mib special.
So this MIB special, basically, what we're doing is we're tilting the box with a shotgun, and it's moving it, and then we're swinging into it, which is making us go further. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but it gives you a higher probability of being splattered.
It absolutely gives you a higher probability of
Yeah,
being-
which is nice to have the invincibility while we're trying to do it. Unfortunately, Danza's got both flares. Not one invincibility has been dropped on this, which is pretty terrible RNG for this level.
really, really unlucky on
Yeah.
easy.
If I
That's
had
like, I don't know.
if I had invincibility, I could have like gone a bit harder on that second launch. Like I could have tried to go for a stronger one, but I just wanted to get one which didn't die and got a bit of distance. That wasn't a bad covey for full game considering what happened. 11:21.
Fair enough. That's similar to MIB's old world record. 3 of the digits are the same anyway.
Oh yeah, carryover is very important with this level because at the
Oh,
start
yeah.
of a level there's going to be Cortana moments. Now another way we can skip them, I don't know if it's been seen earlier on, I don't think it has, we can overlap 2 moments. So when you're going through a Cortana moment, it slows you down, and then it kind of has an ending to it. So if you end one inside of another, you can start walking at full speed in the second one, which it sounds a bit confusing, but you will see that now.
And this could be
has
grey
what
mind
up with
moments
this
or katana moments into each other. It doesn't matter which moments. If there's 2 intersect, they're gonna skip the second one. Great optimization.
The father sings as to his son.
Danza has.
That was
yet another
actually
world
so
record
fast
for
that the second moment actually ran out inside the first moment, so that was pretty good.
You get the. We're still talking about the first. Let's see, how many Cortana movement skips are there?
There's
3, right?
another one coming up which is really hard. I've only managed to finish 1 full game with it. It's a DC launch Cortana skip.
Didn't you do one the other day?
Yeah.
That was the one.
Oh, but yeah, 2 then. 2. I didn't get it. You can DC launch all the way around this corner to actually overlap these 2. This one saves 15 to 20 seconds, depending on how good you land the launch. You have to launch to this panel here, otherwise you don't get the launch.
That's all I
And
have.
did you hit it?
No.
Stolen thoughts.
Luckily,
It's
I
like- yeah, it's
saved
really
a tiny bit of time from it pushing me a tiny bit forward.
Only Danza does it in full games, and pretty much only Danza does it in ILs as well. IL is meaning individual levels, so you've got full games and then individual levels. So you know that.
Or individual leaderboards. It's split on that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Some games are, I guess, like that. All speedruns are different. So, and this level,
Mess to you.
Absolutely.
Anyway, yeah, carry on.
There are a few things on this level that could be really annoying. We're hoping we won't get any instances of them. Sometimes you can get Flood to be having the hammer, the sword, and which can instant kill you. So it's the one Flood type that you're constantly looking out for, and just hopefully it's not going to be interacting. Also, shout out to the blowy uppy guys.
Yeah.
Oh, that's on a more solemn note to that. The blowy uppy guys and their offspring, basically, those two guys, full damage, your own weapons, your own explosives, all do the same damage on any difficulty, so easy and legendary. So the blowy uppy guys can just like
Kill you into explosion.
do kill you instantly, and their little friends can really eat you like proper.
Blowy uppy guys are great though. You can get little boosts off them that save split seconds.
Yeah. Ultimately, they're the enemy, but they can be useful as an ally. Oh, maybe we should have talked about how the Flood were your friends on this level. Oh, well.
There's like movement tech.
No one noticed.
That was the Hell Room Ascent. It's kind of tricky. I missed the second brute shot jump. The reason I shot the wall in front of me was you saw the guy was the spider was trying to jump towards it. He could easily knock me off there, so I just shot it so he had bit of AI manipulation. They were giving him a reason to move immediately rather than push me off.
Room quite random. Did like a lot of different permutations of different Flood in different places, and they can often be in the wrong place at the wrong time. So you can't.
Coming up now, a reactor room launch. No, this one was great. Basically, you're waiting until the plasma grenade explodes, and then you're swinging, and it's launching you the entire way across the entirety of reactor room. It's a hell of a lot of time saver. If done perfectly, you can get straight into this corridor. And with this corridor, again, it's two instances of Cortana moment and Grey Mind moment intersecting, and we're going to be completely skipping the slow movement for the Grey Mind moment because we've already gotten to the trigger for using the hammer along that hallway. It's just great time save.
Yeah, it's definitely a good launch, and yeah, it's fun to do. This level can be really fun. Like, it's a lot of people don't really like this level, like casual and sometimes speedrun it, but it's full of tricks, and there's going to be another one right here if I can get it.
Yeah, once you get used to not getting lost on it, it's a really, really fun level to run.
Yeah.
If we haven't already mentioned it, you're completely invincible in a Cortana moment and Grey Mind moment, so you can do DC launches, whatever launches you want. If they splatter you, DC clips, whatever, you won't die in the moment.
And you're also, like, I believe you're also invisible to enemies, so they don't notice you. You can just stroll right past them, they won't, like,
There is one way you can die during a moment, and it's only the full timer. That's pretty much it. Anything else, you'll live.
I think I had a Cortana moment where it saved me from full timer.
Wow.
Is it only as
I don't know, but I know that if you on Citadel, wasn't it? The DC clip there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's because the fall timer was initiated before the an example of blowy uppy guys here.
Guys,
nearly killing me. I had to take a weird route there because I really would have died if I just kept on going.
Yeah, they've killed many a run for me at least. Well, I say many, like 2 or something.
I've lost the world record run to the very last place for enemies spawning on the next level in the past.
You'd like to see more co-op? How about more co-op MST runs? Never forget.
ST's great.
Shout out to this DC jump up here. Again, another equipment jump, and we are skipping a good 15 seconds of movement that you'd usually have to walk down that hallway, go all the way around and back through here, and we're able to get up to an area that you wouldn't usually be able to get up to through that hole, and then jumping over that little like extrusion on the wall and sliding down. There's a lot of skip there.
Very true.
Okay, shoutouts to Chapified for finding that trick there, which is the original special trick. It saves like a second, 2 seconds. If you fail it, you can lose like 3 to 4. And yeah, it's just a really cool trick. So shoutouts to him for finding that.
I'm looking for an alternate. Careful.
Oh yeah, and I'm gonna be explaining the tower fight when I can. So I'll probably explain the start of Halo just so I could. Oh god, carry over. Gonna carry over.
Maybe do you want to explain the tower fight on Halo?
I'll be,
Me,
be doing that.
Yeah.
kill stuff quickly. That's all I know.
I emptied my ammo there so I could
Not carry over.
yeah, so I could not carry
Previously, we
over.
were talking about.
On this level, you do
carry
not
over.
want to bring any previous weapons on it. You want a fresh set of weapons because it gives you a rocket launcher, which is really useful. So this is Halo. This is another level I put a bit of time into to get it below 10 minutes. Mainly on the tower fight. I have a certain way I go about my tower fight, like mainly from reading the scripts and stuff, so I can understand which enemies, how they spawn and all that jazz. And
It's another thing
at the
that
moment,
Danza's
I'm
pioneered.
like the only. I think I'm the only person who like gets this strat. I think because
I kind of do it.
everyone else tries it, but they don't get the fast.
I did
times.
it. Nobody does it as good as Danza.
Hopefully, I'll do it well. I will explain it as I go along. Because I've
Again,
put the-
similar to Sierra, there's a lot of little
There's a
tiny
lot of
optimizations, a lot of walking. Some of these as well, we're trying to do like little tiny jumps on slopes that you can't really see but are there in the ground just to get that additional slide.
Yeah. Okay, now we're gonna try and get up to the tower as fast as possible. Instead of walking all the way around it, we're gonna do a nice hammer and grenade jump up so we can just climb up very fast.
Flood dispersal
Yes, I am Welsh.
Control rooms at the top of that tower.
And I'm just gonna
Go.
hammer up the tower. Now I'm gonna kill Johnson, so we don't have to wait for him later for. It's a lot of dialogue. Oh, he didn't die in one shot for some reason.
You in there? Open the damn
Oh,
door.
that's fine.
That's fine. Yeah.
Just as soon as you dispose of all proximate
He's died decided now.
Danza has the world record for the full game, this level, the level before,
Yeah, I
and
hear
2 other levels. At least 2 other levels. Maybe more. We
Is
don't
that the
know.
Got all
monitor?
of them
You
pocket
didn't
world
tell me it was
records.
here.
Pretty much.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Well,
This tower split into waves. I'm gonna go to this side of the tower because this is where wave 1 is gonna spawn. And where you look actually influences where the enemies are gonna spawn. They're gonna spawn more in the range of where you're looking. There will still be some which spawn out of my field of view. But if you keep looking here, they're gonna keep spawning here. And the enemies will always spawn with the exact same weapons. So I know when it's gonna end. Like this guy has a rocket launcher, so that wave's over. There's not gonna be any more spawning there. So now I'm gonna move on to the next wave, and that was really good. And now I need to kill these pure forms, they're called. They're Spider Flood. And I need to kill these until the second wave spawns in, which is really fast. And it's the same again. I'm going to stand in a certain spot, so they spawn in the locations I want them to. As you can see, I can just BR them as they're jumping up here. So I'm just going to throw nades, keep killing them. This is a very good tower fight so far.
Did you mention why you killed Johnson?
Yep, I did.
Sorry, I was looking at an image.
For some reason the last guy isn't jumping up. There we go. And that should
What
be it. There we
time
go.
is that?
That was a 245 clear, which is
Not for
quite good.
long. I'm
Better
tracking
than most
additional
people's
dispersal
best
pods.
everyone.
They'll be hitting any minute.
Two has 1 world record. Yep, that's sad.
I have 1 world record. I'm as good as Nagato, guys.
That's true. It's very true.
Yeah,
That's a
big
very,
shout outs
very
to Nagato because he brought the time down so much of this game. He put
Build itself on
absolute
this ring.
tons of effort into it. He had an incredible time, and he didn't even use a lot of the new strats for some of his runs. It's really good. So shout outs to him for sure.
Yeah, hopefully he will return and we start to see
Yeah.
some
Definitely.
Legato stuff going on. It'd be nice.
WVEAAVBMOFSRC.
Best known time of video evidence.
I'm gonna
as
try
a
and
proof.
land the jump just to show it off, called the turret jump.
Speed. History world record has a world record not by Tolu's definition because he doesn't have a video and it's not submitted.
Does have a video.
He's got He doesn't have full covering. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's a world record which I thought I had, and then
Now you're wondering
sometimes
why
it
am I
takes-
actually doing this turret? Why am I bothering to do this turret jump? It actually saves 7 seconds if you get it first try, because you pick up a laser immediately and you can shoot him immediately. And Johnson doesn't need to do his shot move. Well, it still does for shot, just without him actually shooting anything. And now we're going to bring the hammer through the door, hopefully, to use in the last section, just for a bit of extra time save. If you put it upright against this door, the game removes your weapons, but you can just pick this back up through the door, which is really cool. So I'm going to pick that up here, there we go.
I am sorry, Spartan.
And yeah, now it's just movement optimization until the really fun driving section, which probably, if a lot of people played Halo 3, you'll remember this driving section. It's really fun with epic music.
that was a pretty good spark fight.
Yeah. What's the timer looking like for the RTA actually?
Even in death,
110.
1:10:27.
It's 110 at the
That's
moment.
like 4 minutes away from the actual time. So we're looking at a 1:06 if you finish now.
We still have a
While we're
chance.
walking here, just very quickly, I'd like to give a shout out to Halo 3 being the most widely contested among many different runners on the ILs. We have 12 different IL world record holders for this game. You look at Halo 1 or 2, Mr. Monop,
Two.
Cryphon, just 2 runners for that game. And I think Halo 1's very similar, it just has like 3 or 4 that hold all the records.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
jump is very hard with the turret jump actually, like Stuff mentioned. I have to avoid Spark's push barrier, and I have to land on an invisible barrier, and miss another invisible barrier which can just stop you from landing. So, and yeah, the turret's also tricky to jump off of. I have a specific lineup for it. There's only certain angles you can jump off of it, and yeah, it is a quite hard jump. My record does have it. And it's kind of nerve-wracking this late in the run. If you're on a really good run, that jump can be really difficult. Anyway, driving fun.
Come on,
Yeah, so this is the last
go,
section.
go.
It's just driving along. You basically, it's actually there's lots of bits of debris which you just saw there. Just knock Danza off a bit, which these basically can cause mayhem with the driver because they're random and you can't really predict them. There is certain panels that fly off, but the way that they fly off and where they land is pretty random. So that can be, it's a funny way to lose runs because it's right at the end of the game and it shouldn't happen, but it does sometimes.
Yeah. I've actually, when I was trying to get sub 10 to this level, I actually had an IL where I completely missed the ending trigger for it and went into the hangar while still missing the trigger, which is kind of fun. So that's possible. A lot can go wrong in this section, just for the sake of going wrong. But that was a good. I actually did a little skip there in the first roundabout by taking that jump. Saves a tiny bit of time.
It skips
I'd
me.
save a bit of time. What it also does is it stops the enemy spawning in this section.
Yeah.
Let's go through that. Another way of skipping it is a much harder way of skipping it, but you can actually go straight over the top of it by, as you're jumping up, you turn a hard left and you land on one of the beams that runs across the first roundabout.
I'm gonna try and show off a skip here, which VIL no full game does if I can land it. I'm just doing this just for the marathon. It's just kind of funny,
This is tricky.
and we actually got it as well. I found a consistent lineup for it, and I think it kind of just saves 1 second rather than driving around it, but it's cool.
Nice stuff.
Like
It's
20 seconds.
it's a good lineup for it as well, so I'll probably try and
The
do
many
that.
uses of the hammer in Halo 3. So
Yeah.
guys.
Danza, can you do a 360 at some point, as requested by chat?
You can launch with it, you can propel vehicles into areas that they'd never be able to get into. You can do so much with the hammer. It's such a utilization tool in Halo 3. Shout out to all the things that can knock you off.
Halo,
Driving.
in Halo Reach, the hammer was my weapon of destruction.
Another run, but skip.
It's what I got the most kills with, because I played Griffin at the time.
So this skip here on this roundabout, essentially, again, we're skipping the entirety of the ring, and we're trying to gather as much speed as we can to be able to gap right over to this section. No hammer needed this time, extremely fast, nice landing, and we hit it.
Yeah.
And that's like the one that he just did before, and the one before that. It skips enemy loads as well, which kind of makes the next sections a bit easier. Because Sentinel is like in Halo CE as well. There's a similar section on Halo CE, like this section, and they have like, for some reason they like knock you over a lot, like tilt you to the side, and so it can be annoying.
Yeah, absolutely. Sentinels and blow up you guys can push you off the level, and you know, can force, because you don't easily get a lot of checkpoints, especially on this drive. You can get some really nasty reverts, so it's just nice to be able to skip the loads for those enemies coming in.
I don't know if I did a 360 or a 180 there, but I hope that's good enough.
That ramp, you go quite high and it's a lot of airtime, so what we like to do is we like to go far to the right there and just try and like minimise the airtime and just cut that corner.
And we're coming up to the last part now.
sure,
You can actually, you can die here so easily just by sentinels exploding, and they can just launch you off the edge and stuff. It's kind of funny.
Because Wolves are strong.
Or he can get one of these massive floor platforms, just, you know, slamming into the hog and pushing off the side. It's happened to every runner in Halo 3 at some point.
Yeah.
So there's a grunt there. Toy grunt.
Yeah, you could also go to a grunt on the side.
This is a good Halo, even with the turret jump fail, it's still sub 1030.
Nice, that's pretty good.
Laptop ran out of
Time,
battery.
by the way. Yeah,
Dedication.
time, yeah, I don't know. Either way, that's the end. Made quite a few mistakes, Aaron, but I hope you all enjoyed it either way. And
That's
yeah.
the run.
yeah, I hope
Absolutely, guys. This has been Halo 3, the best Halo.
you. 116.29, is that a 112, 113, I think?
Probably be like probably put him like 6th in the Halo runs
That's
leader.
not bad for a marathon run. I was hoping for
Absolutely.
sub 110, but that was a bit of a...
And you didn't save and quit when boarding a Scarab went wrong,
That was,
which
Right.
places this as the best Halo run performed today, in my opinion,
Yeah.
because of that.
But anyway, yeah, thank you very much. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the rest of the marathon. I think Nod's up next, isn't he, with... I can't remember the game name, but yeah. Thank you guys, and yeah.
It's been TehDanza, the Blaze JP, and Dead Rain Mate, and the Nebulous.
Yeah, thank you very much for joining
Hope you
guys.
enjoyed, guys.
Remember to stay tuned next year for co-op MST.
Bye.
Okay, so that was our Halo block.